welcome back to the show. We are back with our very first panel of the day. I'm extremely proud to introduce my community team who has worked hard to cram as many memes as possible into this presentation as they can. We're trying to rival Koji's old presentations. We'll see if we can beat Kate's tomorrow. It's a good meme ratio, I think. So without further ado, let me welcome to the stage two of the community team members. Please help me welcome Aya Montoya and Danielle Graft. All right, take it away. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Matt. So, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Fan Festival stage here in Las Vegas. So, off of Dawn Trail, I feel like Final Fantasy 14 players have been eating well today. And I know it's lunchtime, so.
Very well, very well.
All right, so before we kick things off, I'm going to introduce myself one more time. My name is Aya, also known as Seeker, and joining me is my illustrious co-host,
Danielle, or Okiomi. We're happy to have you here today.
Yeah. All right, so we're actually going to go ahead and get things started by introducing other members of the community team. So this is our team. It comprises of 5 amazing members. You just saw Matt Bayonne Hilton, Anthony Caraway, aka Zexos, and then myself, Okiomi, and of course Sam, or Voltanine.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing members.
Very amazing. But our team works on a lot of different tasks here today, so we're going to go over those really quick for those not familiar. The NA community team's tasks include, but are not limited to, reading the official forums, researching player feedback, sweepstakes contests, community live streams, and a lot more.
Yeah, and actually, Matt asked us this during, or he told us this during our interviews. He was just like, we wear a lot of different hats, and
man, a lot.
Quite a few hats indeed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we could jump into things now, shall we?
We are going to jump right into things today, so we have a fun little game up for you all. We learned about what lies ahead.
But do you remember what came before?
Yep, do you, is the question. We're going to play a really quick game here today. We're going to ask which came first. We're going to start with an easy one, though, because, you know, we got to give you a freebie, maybe. Did the 7th Umbral Calamity come first? And for those of you who might not know, that is Final Fantasy 14 1.0 or A Realm Reborn. Is it A or B? A? A? Okay. I heard like 1B, so.
I mean, maybe this is kind of an easy one, but you essentially get the point, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you guessed A, because I heard the majority of you did, then you would be correct. Final Fantasy 14 1.0 released. Mm-hmm. The game included a compelling story, some pretty cool graphics, but maybe not as good as the ones you saw today being revealed. Sid, because what Final Fantasy would be without Sid? I mean,
it's weird seeing him without his beard.
Really weird. We also had some villains, because, you know, you need that as well. And, I mean, Illuminating Calamity overhead. Some of you might remember.
Mm-hmm. And,
maybe.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes. So, yes, A Realm Before. You might recognize these flower pots. Does anybody recognize it? Can I see some hands in the chat?
Oh, I see some hands.
And the audience. Ooh, wow. But yes, these flower pots were the equivalent of a player character. All the polygons in these barrels. Isn't that amazing? But yes, Final Fantasy 14 1.0 was released on September 30th, 2010. Then, as we all know, the 7th Umbral Calamity took place, and A Realm Reborn was released on August 27, 2013.
Mm-hmm. But all good things must come to an end at some point. So here we are in A Realm Reborn. Mm-hmm. Are we ready to go? Are you ready? Did you get your fill? Are you ready to come? Because we're going to play this a lot.
Yep. Here it comes. So to start with A Realm Reborn, which was first? Was it Revenant's Toll Construction or Purchasable Fantasia?
Oh,
A or B?
I heard some Purchasable Fantasia. That would be my guess, too.
Really?
I think
Fantasia?
so, yeah. I mean, how many times have we switched characters?
True. But if you chose A, you would be correct.
Yes, you would. Reverence Toll Construction actually came in patch 2.1, so that's pretty close in a realm, pretty early in a Realm Reborn. Yep.
Yes, and there is no more returning to the Waking Sands, as this place served as the Scion's base eventually.
We also built this city on Reverence Toll. I mean, have you all turned in some tombstones to Rowenia lately? I'm pretty sure that funded Reverence Toll.
All right, we have some amazing screenshots from how it
Yeah,
looked
so
way
for
back
those
then,
of you
yeah?
who may not have been around at that time, well, Reverence Toll actually began as a small camp. This is in 1.0 right now.
Yeah.
But the small little camp, eventually, in A Realm Reborn, became a bustling hub for players, their glamours, their mounts, too. I remember that, so I hope anyone else there remembers that, too. And I mean, also, that construction just continued over time, over patches, which is really cool to see for those who were around, or if you weren't now here on stage.
Yeah, and it was amazing because during this time of like Revenant's Toll being built, there were amazing cameos by like Ruby Carbuncle.
Ruby, who could forget Ruby?
And also the debut of the NPC hanging on a dear life on a building.
He moved around quite a few during that construction.
Yeah.
But this all led to what Reverence Toll is today, so we have a little video for you.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we have to go over the other one now.
Yes.
We went over Reverence Toll. We have to go over the purchasable Fantasia. I heard a lot of people guessing that, but it actually came in 2.4.
Yep. And you can use this to change your character appearance or your patron deity to Nofika or Nofika. How do you guys say it? How do you say it, Okiomi?
Don't ask me how to pronounce something because I will not. I would say Nofika.
Okay, I say
Nofika?
I say Nofika.
Nofika.
Okay, well.
But not only that, we're like 99% sure this is our most popular item on the store, but we don't know for sure.
I feel like it was replaced by something like momentarily, but then it still reigns supreme.
Maybe it will get replaced by the new FanFest items.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
But next up, we have a new question for you all. Could you guess which came first? The Wolfston or I seem to
Have misplaced my keyboard.
It's quite the auto-translate. What do you all think? PvP? Yeah. What is that? What is that name? What is it? What are they called?
Fresh meat?
Fresh meat?
Let's look into that, shall we?
Yep. If you guessed Wolfden, you would have been correct. It was patch 2.1, so that was actually around when Reverence Toll was getting construction as well.
Yes, and the Fold was the first instance PvP arena, which was awesome.
Yeah, and not only that, but all character names were displayed as fresh meat. So if you were around back then, you may have had your character name changed just for a little bit.
So good.
Get that hype.
Yeah, and from PvP, there was a lot of amazing content that first came. And I think we actually had a screenshot of the Fold when it was first introduced.
The Fold,
right?
we do. It was a circular arena. Who's been in the Fold? Oh, I see a lot of hands. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah?
And we actually got some amazing rewards from PvP, still getting updated and stuff as well. But I feel like this is probably one of the most hyped sets.
I use the Scholar set a lot.
I use the Monk set a lot.
The Monk set? I'm a deer. What are you?
I am a hawk.
A hawk.
It's cool. It's amazing.
They're best friends.
But yeah, speaking of PvP, we have the Crystalline Conflict Tournament finals happening tomorrow, so don't miss it.
It's going to be a blast tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we have to go over the other. So
Yes.
I seem to have misplaced my keyboard. This is quite an interesting one. It arrived in patch 2.35.
Yes.
But how did we get here? Like, how did we get here?
I don't know. How do you suddenly lose a keyboard? You tell me. But yes, the Japanese version is actually I'm not using a keyboard. And there's also we're chewing the fat.
Yeah, quite the auto-translate. Who has used auto-translate? What's your favorite one? I use thank you a lot. Yeah?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yes, please. But I mean, if you have the auto-translate, we could maybe, you want to try?
Yeah, so this is pretty much a simulation of how a conversation using auto-translate would go. I'm ready. Are you?
I am.
So as you can see, we could pretty much have a conversation, a whole conversation using auto-translate. But now, let's move on, shall we?
Yep. We have to ask.
Which came first? Yes, the Glamour Prisms or the Manderville Dance? Let's hear it. Is it A or B?
B. I heard a lot of B, but I also
heard a lot
A
of
over
A.
here. See, I heard A over here, but I think B. Could we hear that again?
Oh, I heard A that time. Well, if you said A or B, you would technically be right because they both came around the same time.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is the only time we're going to do that to you, so promise it won't happen again.
Yep, but Glamour Prisms actually came in patch 2.2 alongside the Manderville Dance, but we can talk about Glamour Prisms a little because who doesn't want to talk about Glamour Prisms?
Yes, and this was added with the Glamour system, and as a lot of people know,
You know, it is the true end game. I'm sorry, but we're going to have this debate right now. Yeah, I hear that.
yeah.
Ooh.
There used to be a ton of specific types and grades of Glamour Prisms for specific types of gear. And they are, hold on, let me see if I can get this properly going. They include alchemy, armor craft, cloth craft, smithing, goldsmithing, leatherworking, and woodworking.
That's a lot. And not only that, but there were grades.
1 through 5.
1 through 5? How many
lot.
inventory spaces are we up at now? We're not going to talk about that.
But yeah, you might be wondering, why can't I hold all these prisms? But this was actually changed later on in patch 4.2 when it became a singular glamour prism for all your glamoring needs. Except when you dispel them. That's still another one, yeah.
It did. But since we tricked you earlier, I'm sorry, that, like I said earlier, that was the only time. We definitely have to go over the Manderville Dance, which arrived at the same time. This is my favorite dance emote. Is it yours?
Yes.
It is.
Among the favorites.
Among your favorites, what are the other ones that we have?
I mean, some of the other ones were the first ones, such as Step Dance, Harvest Dance, and Ball Dance.
What's the audience's favorite?
Oh, I heard a bee's knees.
I would, oh, you know, we
I
didn't
heard
have bee's knees, but that's a good one. Oh, I heard Manderville too.
Oh, okay, okay.
But we actually have a little throwback for you all to see both the glamours and the dances of A Realm Reborn.
Let's check it out. So good.
It was a fun time to be in. I mean, it's a fun time now, but it was a fun time back then too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of NPCs there.
Yeah, a lot. And wearing their first initial outfits, actually, too.
Yes.
It was nice.
So, with all good things, like 1.0, A Realm Reborn has come to a conclusion.
And now we're going to the critically acclaimed Heavensward.
Heavensward. So it's good we got you all. You know, if you knew A Realm Reborn, well, now we're going to quiz you on Heavensward and see how you do.
All right, so obviously we're going to ask the question, which came first?
Skybear?
What's Skybear?
What
Does
is
anyone
Skybear?
remember Skybear? Raise. Oh, okay, I see hands. Okay.
Okay.
And then there's also the sprout icon. So between these two, which came first? Skybear or the sprout icon, A or B?
I heard a lot of A, but I also heard like one rogue B over there. But I mean, it's the sprout icon, right? Like that had to have come early.
How did that come in Heavensward and not in A Realm Reborn?
Right?
Or even 1.0? It's amazing. But
To show Skybear, you must first learn of Skybear. We always remember, always flying in our hearts.
forever.
But if you did guess Skybear, you would be correct. That actually arrived at 3.0. For those of you who were around, you might have saw Skybear, but it was a majestic beast roaming through the skies in early Heavensward. And to see the bear, you must fly like the bear.
But unfortunately, it vanished in June 25, 2015. I think this was like a week after Heavensward was launched.
Only a week. He was so short-lived.
Yeah.
We loved Skybear, though. Can we get a round of applause for Skybear, please? Right? Yeah. I love Skybear. But we also have the sprout icon. Now, I would have thought this came first, right? Like, it's the sprout icon. It's the lifeblood of Final Fantasy XIV. We had the sprout icon come in patch 3.2, so that was quite a time after Skybear, but at least the patch.
Yep. And this actually came over to New Novice Adventures, and only after patch 3.2.
Yeah. And it also bestowed a source of comfort for beginners.
Yeah, until it fell off, right?
Yeah, I mean, we all things must come to an end at some point.
All right,
But
what do we have next, Danielle?
We do. We need to ask a new question. Which came first? Sloppy? How do you say it? I say sloppy. Sloppy. Or the Aquapolis? Treasure map fiends. Who's in here with treasure maps? Yes. Okay, A or B?
Oh, I heard both. That was like a mix. That was like A, B.
A, B. It was one together. But if you guessed B, you would be correct. The Aquapolis, yes, treasure maps. Arrived in patch 3.3. We actually had treasure maps before, but the Aquapolis, you know.
It was our first treasure hunt dungeon.
The first treasure hunt dungeon. And then there's always the debate. Do we go left or do we go right?
Or...
Right? I heard right. Which way?
Oh my gosh. Falls balls, just pick one. Please. All right. And well, the next one, I feel like it could
Sloppy!
speak for himself. Oh my goodness.
Patch 3.5 was sloppy.
Sloppy.
Yes. Or, you know, you might remember some other key lines like...
For Alamigo!
Or...
I'll tear you limb from limb.
Yep.
But I feel like sloppy was definitely the most prominent line among those, right?
Yes, it was. Sloppy.
All right. What do we have next? So which came first? Group pose or active time maneuver? Ooh, A or B, ladies and gents?
B?
Ooh.
B?
I'm not hearing a lot of confident answers.
Yeah, I don't hear any confident. What is it again?
Ooh, okay, okay.
That was a good one, yeah.
I like it, I like it.
Yep, I heard A, so if you guessed A, that would be correct. It's group pose! Yes! This is the other true in-game, if it's not glamour, so we have to clarify that.
True, it's like the DLC to the end game.
It is, yes, and this arrived in patch 3.1.
Yes, and actually, screenshots used to require being in the right place at the right time, but not anymore.
Yep, now you can get those picture-perfect moments just on a whim by adjusting a few little settings. But we also, with the group pose, had some community contests come in. If you want to see them. I think this was Sightseeker's first community contest she got to work on.
That is true. This is one of them. This was during the Do You Even / Pose Showdown. It was awesome. I loved it. It was amazing. And these are a few of the screenshots that we had submitted at the time, which were amazing.
Yeah, the players really got into it. I mean, look.
So good. So organized.
I want to try. You want to try?
Sure. This way?
Yes. Well, no, this way.
This way?
Yes. that
There
way.
you go.
Uh-huh. But I mean, we got to have the cake too, the food.
Yes. Ooh. So good.
We
I
run
loved it.
these community contests from every now and then, so please look forward to the next one.
Yeah, you get some amazing prizes if you join, so please make sure to keep an eye out for them.
But we also had, I heard some people who had guessed before active time maneuver. Yeah, well, this one came in patch 3.3.
Yes. It was essentially like, I feel like the first time this came out, it was like, how long can you stay on the cruise chaser? It was kind of like a funny game of chicken, like, are you going to press it or am I going to press it?
No,
first?
you have to stay on till you get ejected. Like, and I mean, I played Scholar during this era. I feel like my raid group was always yelling at me to not put my fairy right in the middle where you click because you would be gone and not be able to click on it.
Yep.
But this also came with Alexander, the Heart of the Creator. So, I mean, maybe forward and back and forward and back. But this was towards our end, and that has concluded.
And
Heaven's
now,
Sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're going to be going into the new addition to the free trial.
The new addition to the free trial.
Stormblood.
Who's hyped for Stormblood quizzes?
All
Wait,
right.
I think Heaven's Sword was higher. Do we have more Heaven's Sword fans? Can we get some Stormblood?
Yeah, let's hear it one more time for
Storm
Stormblood.
of Blood.
That's
Born
what I'm
from
talking
blood.
about. All right, so with this, I have to ask you, which came first? Fun Size Bahamut or Asahi in your face?
Ooh. Which is it, A or B? Who's a Bahamut fan? A, okay. And then who's an Asahi fan? Yeah, I thought so. We might need to move on.
That was like complete silence. That was amazing. All right, but yeah, as everybody in the audience knows, Fun Size Bahamut was indeed first.
Yes, Fun Size Bahamut came at 4.1, so very quick within that Stormblood patch.
Yes, taking up a chunk of your real estate on your monitor since 2017.
We heard the complaints, okay? We know. We read the forms.
Yes, definitely.
But you got to now choose with your pet size or Bahamut size.
Yeah, pet size actually came in Endwalker, and that command was combined into that. So
who plays with the small Bahamut? A small Bahamut? Medium Bahamut? Oh, I see like two. Okay, big Bahamut? I'm a big Bahamut fan! Yeah! I like the big Bahamut too.
Yes.
What do you play with?
Small.
Small Bahamut? Okay. You have to have the big Bahamut.
If I'm feeling dangerous, then I'll switch it to large.
Yeah.
All right. And speaking of danger.
Very danger.
Yeah.
Asahi in your face. This actually arrived in patch 4.2. I think this was a pretty iconic thing most will remember.
Yes, and it was Asahi's attempt to unnerve us.
Unnerve us. I don't know about that. Depending on the race you played, we might have been a little too busy laughing.
Yeah, he was kind of accommodating, don't you think? Let me go ahead into further explanation about that. So there have been times where you see him like this. If you happen to be a Hira, Mikote, or Al Ra, or, if you were one of the taller warriors of light. And, of course, if you were a Lalafell.
I didn't get the Lalafell experience. I just got the Makote.
Yeah, I didn't know this. I think I was a Highlander at the time, so he was like looking at me in the face.
This was pretty great for the Lalafell.
Yeah, it really was. So good.
Yeah.
So accommodating, this here, Asahi, don't you think? All right. Well.
But now we have the next question for all. So are you ready? Which came first? Is Pazuzu up? Is Pazuzu? Can someone tell me if it's up? And then we have chicken tenders, or
Why is that labeled as chicken tender?
Well, some might know them as Omega.
Oh, true.
Which do you think came first? Is Pazuzu up? A, or chicken tenders?
No.
No,
I
no
feel like
chicken-
they're convinced that it's A.
Everyone knows.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they would be correct.
You would be very correct. Yeah, give yourself a round of applause. There was like no B's on that one. Yeah. Everyone must have played Eureka. So, Is Pazuzu Up came with patch 4.25. Yep.
Yes, and players had to essentially work together to make sure they could spawn Pazuzu, actually.
Yeah, they made sure that all the spawn conditions, that was really fun to watch too as a community, tried to figure out every single Fate's spawn condition.
Yeah, I think they were like defeating shadow wraiths, which only spawn at night, and then during Gale's weather, right?
Yeah, So one more good time for good measure. Can someone please tell me, is Pazuzu up? It's up! Okay, I need to go to the other instance. Like, it's not here. It's just not here.
All right. But yeah.
It's already dead! No! I need my feather.
Yeah, me too. Another instance.
But we need to go over the thing that everyone knew, because this is so iconic. Chicken tenders.
Oh,
Chicken
my
tenders
goodness.
arrived in patch 4.4, or Omega, if you know.
Yes, and this isn't our first rodeo with misheard lyrics, is it?
It's not, yeah.
Does anybody remember like the chaos of Pantocrator, especially if you raided during this time? I think it's in the Omega Protocol also. Fun time.
It is, but I mean, who could forget?
Oh, also, can you tell your starboards from your larboards?
What is it, starboard? Okay, but I'm the tank now, and I'm calling starboard to
my
go
goodness.
left for your right.
I feel like no matter what, I got hit. Did you get hit? Did you get hit?
Which is it? I don't know.
Yeah, but that's pretty much there, and oh my goodness.
Memories.
All right.
Yep. So now we have which was first. Now I know Aya loves this.
Oh yes, I love this. So which came first, The Great Hunt, starring Rathalos from Monster Hunter, or Duty Actions?
Ooh. B. I heard an A though too.
I heard like a C somewhere. What?
A C? Who
Where'd that
called
come
C?
from? All right. Is it because you carve in Monster Hunter? Let's go ahead and check it out. All right. But yes.
If you guessed B, you would be correct. Duty Actions came in patch 4.0. I think this one's pretty memorable. At least it's very memorable for me.
Yes.
Yep. It was first introduced as a resisting the primal Lakshmi.
Yeah, and it was actually used in various other content ever since, such as repelling giant fists and charging up a shield in the battle with Omega and using the Omega Jammer as a shield.
Yeah, chicken
or
fingers came back.
blasting enemies to bits for materials with the Aetheromatic Augur.
Quick, the bun's got a gun.
Or wielding heavenly shields and swords in the battle against Agrius in the Orbone Monastery.
Yeah, I remember that one.
But yes, actually, within the Duty Actions, the Monster Hunter collaboration was also involved.
There were Duty Actions in The Great Hunt, which arrived on patch 4.36. But you all knew that because you knew that it came first or last.
Awesome. And yeah, this was a collaboration with Monster Hunter World, and it was amazing because it also involved Monster Hunter based mechanics like Mega Potion Duty Actions, mounting acting time maneuvers, and Rathalos specific attacks without telegraphs.
Without telegraphs, I might need some help.
Kind of reminds me
Can
of
you
a
please carry me through
coin
Rathalos?
counter situation.
Just a little bit. But also, there were some unique rewards for players to obtain, which was really cool. Yeah, do you want to see some? For
definitely.
Sure.
But before we do, let's actually go over some of the cool things that were introduced in this collaboration. This was actually the first permanent collaboration duty that was introduced.
Who's going to go do Rathalos now? If you haven't done it, it's still in the game. You can go get those items.
Yeah, you could see that this involved a special duty introduction screen, and then also the fearsome Rathalos.
Terrifying.
And yeah, these were some of the cool things that you could get from this. They were Monster Hunter inspired, which were really, really awesome. Or you could also just get this.
Meat.
Yeah, indoors and outdoors, fresh meat.
Indoors and outdoors. That's so cool.
Yeah, and also the Palico minion came
Palico!
in this collab also.
Be sure to collect that if you haven't already.
All right.
And with that, we actually have concluded Stormblood. But I think you all knew that. So I feel like we have a lot of people who have played since Stormblood because they were on point.
Yeah, definitely on point.
But that means we get to go into Shadowbringers. One brings shadow, one brings light.
Danielle, we need to move on now. All right. So, which was first in this situation? Was it the
Lahi
or the reimagined primals? Was it A or B, audience?
A.
All right, everybody.
I think we have a lot of players here and fans who have started in probably the Heaven Sword range because they have been very good.
Yes.
But if you guessed A, then you would be correct. It actually arrived right in Shadowbringers when you entered the Rockteak Greatwood.
And you were greeted by Lahi when you entered this area, along with the little scree, you know.
Scree. Just a little bit, yeah.
It was so good.
It was really cool because this was adopted into a rockin' greeting, meaning wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up.
And of course, who could forget this memorable performance by our sound director, Masayoshi
Shall we take a look?
Soken. Yes. This was from the 2021 Fan Festival, right?
Yes.
Let's take a look.
ミュージックスタート。ナヒ止められるよら、止められるよら、止められるよら、あひ止められるよら、止めらほら、止めら。
Another round of applause for Soken. Very memorable.
Yes, and you can actually watch the rest of that performance on the 2021 Fan Festival website. So if you want to check it out. Yep.
But we have to go over the one that you all knew didn't come first, the reimagined primals arriving in patch 5.05 in the Eden Raid series.
Do you remember when we had this dialogue option? It was like, with my memories to guide the summoning, what could possibly go wrong?
What could go wrong, but I think we might want to...
Yeah, let's show you. No.
I think that sound clip might be
Slightly
embedded in our hearts.
Yes.
Forever.
My goodness.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. We just kind of misremembered what these primals looked like in our imagination.
Exactly. Why did Leviathan have two heads? That was like my biggest wondering. All right. But yeah, let's move on, shall we?
Yes.
Please. So, what came first? The trust system or big fat tacos?
Big fat tacos, A? Ooh, I heard like A, B, A, B. It was like a back and forth. A?
Ooh.
B. Ooh, very indecisive.
All right. So why don't we just show the answer, yes?
Yeah.
All right.
The trust system arrived in patch 5.0, so right at the start. It was a great addition.
Yes, indeed. And this actually It was pretty much main scenario duties with NPC allies, and
Yep, and you could also see your companions in their element. So you had Urianger deleting enemies, or you had very trigger-happy Alice.
indeed. But yeah, so has this ever happened to you, this instance before, where you see a blue AoE and your limit break bar is full and you're wondering, what's that blue AoE on the floor? And then you suddenly hear this line.
Let's give them a show.
Or if it was another bar of limit break, and then you suddenly hear something along the lines of,
There'll be nothing left of you but a smoking crater.
ooh,
My limit break bar just got depleted.
yes. Oh, Alize, never change.
Yep, but we have, we went over before. This was very undecisive, but Big Fat Tacos or Ruby Weapon came in patch 5.2.
How about those tacos with Grahatia in that Dawn?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Maybe we have a new Big Fat Taco rival. Yeah, maybe we need like a mashup of Ruby Weapon and Graha.
They both have a red aspect to them, so I feel
There
like...
you go.
Yeah. But yes, the misheard lyrics strike again, truly. But yeah, there was actually some debate. Was it like big fat tacos, beef soft tacos, or I heard big fat hot dogs like once or
What
twice.
does the audience say? See, I heard the beef ones.
I heard the soft ones.
There was like the rogue hot dog in the back, too.
So good.
Yeah, and like our dear community member, Voltanine, he likes to say, I am never having lobster again.
No.
You might remember Nail Darnus in this fight as well.
My goodness, who could forget that smile? And you know what was funny is that when me and Voltanine arrived here in Vegas, there was a random lobster plush just sitting in the parking lot.
It was Ruby
just
Weapon.
chilling.
It was waiting for you.
Maybe. I don't know. It was like a sign or something.
But with that, we have to ask the next question. Which was first? Oh, I hear a mix.
Yes. Oh my
Number
goodness.
2 type B leggings or red comet? A? Is there a B? B? Oh, they're all
Oh,
over there.
okay,
All the
wow.
red comet fans are over there.
But yeah, let's go ahead and see what came first, shall we?
Yes. It was number 2 type B leggings arriving in patch 5.18.
And this was in collaboration with Yorha Dark Apocalypse for Nier Automata.
Yeah, there was some insane demand for these crates. If you were around at this time, you probably spent weeks farming because you kept rolling a 1, and then
Yeah.
you'd roll like a 98, and someone would beat you with a 99. I feel that pain.
Yes, I feel like there was like a week when this first came out. You got it your first try, but
I
then
did.
for me, it took like the whole entire week. Worst. But I eventually got it. And you want to know the best thing about the 2B leggings?
What?
It could be worn by all.
Everyone
good.
can wear them. Who wears this glamour? Because we're like pretty sure this is the #1 worn glamour.
Pretty sure.
There's
your
no one
hands.
who's wearing type 2 leggings.
Raise your hands if
Oh,
you
they're too
use this.
scared. They're too
Oh,
scared.
I feel
Oh,
like
I see a few
lot
now.
of you who are
Okay,
keeping
I
your
wear
hands
them
down.
too. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of you who are keeping your hands down, you're lying. Okay, but actually, last but certainly not least, we have. Okay, all right.
Sorry.
And then, okay, all right. Sorry about that. We have Red Comet.
Who remembers Red Comet? Yeah, Red Comet arrived in patch 5.35. This was in the Boja Southern Front, I actually believe.
Yes, and it actually came through with the critical engagement, the hunt for Red Chalktober.
The hunt for Red Chalktober.
So many AoEs.
Very,
So many vulnerability stacks.
a lot of AoEs. But, this might not be the first time that we've seen the Red Choco. We also saw them, if you remember, the Evilise quest line.
Yeah.
We kind of had like a ramp up to those Red Chocobos.
Yeah, they destroyed us then, and they destroyed us during this time as well. But yeah, that just about wrapped things up because we are here at Endwalker. And since we're still going through our adventures in Endwalker, this brings us to the end of our little game. So we thank you all so much in the audience, or if you're watching at home, for joining us down this trip on memory lane. And if you're eager to hear more about this expansion, we hope you'll tune into the next stage event, a developer panel with Natsuko Ishikawa about Endwalker's story, beginning from the end, the annotated Endwalker.
It's going to be a good one. Make sure you stick around.
Yeah. Also watch Duty Commence. What? Oh.
Please watch Duty Commence.
Well, thank you so much. Let's give one more round of applause for Aya and Danielle. And as Danielle mentioned, please do watch Duty Commenced. If you enjoyed the memery here on display, they do get up to a lot of fun on the show as well. So please make sure you tune in. And as they mentioned, up next in about 20-ish minutes, we will have our next panel. So make sure you get a snack, go to the bathroom if you need to. It's going to be a 2-hour, our first ever, I think, 2-hour development panel. And just again, another reminder, and I will remind you again, there are huge Endwalker spoilers. So I'm sure everyone in here is totally caught up. Someone's on the free trial. I'm sorry. Please make sure you plug your Loperet ears. All right, one more round of applause for our two panelists. Thank you so much. And we'll see you back here at 2 p.m.